a better economy, more jobs, more opportunity, more economic mobility, a stronger national security. All of those things are good for all Americans, and that's why we champion those causes, and the president does as well.
A number I saw recently, roughly 6.6 million jobs available unfilled in America, and roughly 6.3 million people unemployed. So more jobs open than unemployed. How do you fix that gap where people are starting to tie in and can actually get the jobs that are open and have the skill sets to qualify?
Well, workforce development is critical, especially in a state like Louisiana. There's lots of dialogue going on about that all the time, brainstorming. We're working with our community colleges and technical schools to make adjustments as they can to adapt curricula and opportunities for people to get the education they need to fill those jobs. It's an amazing thing. A great problem to have more jobs available than workers. And one of the things that we need to do as well in terms of public policy is returning to work requirements for public assistance. It should not be a controversial notion at all, that if you're, for example, an 18 to 49-year-old male with no dependents and no health care problems, you should be working. There's no excuse anymore. You can't say you can't find a job because the numbers you just cited there prove the opposite. So what we want to do is add in some of those reforms on the federal level before anyone can avail themselves of public assistance. They better go find a job. And if they literally and truly cannot find one, they need to certify it to us, at least on a monthly basis, that they're trying. I want to see who they've interviewed with, what jobs they've sought. And if they can't find a job, they need to do at least 20 hours of community service in their community. Do something of value, because it's not only good for the community around you, it's good for you as an individual, because we find dignity in our work. That's a biblical notion, but it bears out as common sense as well. So, by the way, if all those guys have less idle time to sit on their couches and play video games, the crime rate goes down as well, because there's not idle time. So, lots of reasons that we ought to pursue these things as public policy, and that's what the Republicans in the Congress are working to do.
Congressman Johnson, what is the major next step on legislation issues you're working on for Louisiana? I know you've got lots of irons in the fire, but what's the next priority and project for you?
Well, before the end of this year, we've just got a few months left. When we go back after the August recess, we're at the district work period right now. We're all moving around our districts. I've got 15 parishes in all of North and West Louisiana, so we got a lot of area to move around, people to go see. But when we go back September, we're getting right back to work on the big initiatives. We've got the Ag Bill, the Farm Bill that's still on the table. That's got to be finalized. We have to reauthorize on a permanent basis the National Flood Insurance Program, which is so important for Louisiana. We're doing a lot of work on that as well. But immigration reform is not done yet. Our comprehensive immigration reform bill did not get the sufficient number of votes in the House a month ago, and we've got to get right back to that. That's a critical issue for the nation. And when you consider that our porous border to the south with Mexico is one of our greatest national security threats, I mean, if you talk to the experts in border security, they tell you they know for a fact, Homeland Security, they know that at least on average 15 radicalized terrorists come across the border every single day, 15 at least, and every day. And we know that, narcotics come across, opioids and black market drugs like that come across in huge volumes across the border every day. So it's adding continually to the crises that we're facing as a nation, and we've got to fix that problem. I hope there'll be a bipartisan consensus that builds around a real solution to get it done.